everyone, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. Today I am joined by Jose Segurado, and the space that is about to start has been named Keys to Reinvent Your Health and Your Life. Jose Segurado is a life and health coach. He specializes in autoimmune diseases. Before starting, I just want to remind you that if you want to collaborate with Mindalia, there's very simple things that you can do. Just like, subscribe, or share this video with someone that you know that can benefit of the content that we are about to give you. It is my pleasure now to say welcome, Jose Segurado, to Mindalia, now in English. You have shared with us several times in Spanish. This is a time in which we get to share with you in a different language. Thank you for being here.
Hello to everybody. I'm super grateful to be here with you, with Mindalia TV. I would like to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Jose Segurado, and as you said, I'm a health and life coach specialized in multiple sclerosis and autoimmune diseases. And I would like to explain a little bit about my story of health or recovery, of success, because for me it's success. About 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I had more than 60 lesions in my brain and in my spinal cord. And doctors told me that I wouldn't be able to walk in about 6 months or 1 year. That was absolutely terrifying for me. And I was scared. I was crying for 3 days, thinking about my life, my future life. All my dreams were gone, and I was really, really scared. But I had a kind of intuition from the very first moment that everything was not that bad. I had a lot of things to do in my life, to change in my life, to improve in my life. And a lot of my diagnosis, a lot of my situation was due because of my habits, because of my lives, what I did or what I didn't do at that very moment. And I needed to change my life, and I needed to start living my own life and not the life that I had to supposedly to live. And I started investigating in internet. Hope, thanks that internet is there, and I could find a lot of information, super helpful information about people who have recovered from another diseases or similar diseases. And I start reading and seeing things completely different. Different from what I knew, what doctors told me about multiple sclerosis. And there are a lot of people who have recovered from multiple sclerosis and other diseases. And I start checking what they did to recover themselves. And all the stories were really, really similar. They did several things like changing completely their diets and their lifestyle, quitting jobs or relationships that didn't work for them. And was like, wow, a light bulb for me, like, wow, it's possible. There are people who did it, who accomplished that amazing situation. So I started I started to apply that in myself. I first of all changed my diet completely. You know, all of you know what you have to do with your diet. Is the easier things to do. It's super easy to change the life. It's just buy different things that you used to consume to eat. So my diet started to be more veggie and more natural, not processed foods and not junk food. And well, in 1 month or 1.5 months, I started to feel much better. And I said to myself, oh, that works. So I need to go on. And then after that, I changed, I quit relationships that didn't work for me. I stopped having like several addictions that didn't work for myself. And finally, what I did is to quit my job that I didn't believe in. I was working in a bank for years, and the job was amazing because I had I have a lot of money for my job. I have, like, everybody said, "Oh, your job is amazing. What you do is everybody wants to do what you are doing right now." But I said to myself, "Oh, that's not what I want to do," and I decided to quit my job. And I decided to start dedicate myself to things that I loved more, like being more creative. I started to study health coaching. I wrote a book about my recovering process, and bit by bit, everything is starting. All the pieces of the puzzle, well, like, while the puzzle was complete, or more or less complete, and all the symptoms that I had disappear completely. So this is why I know that all of this works works very well. And after my recovery process, I started working with and I did a I started studying um, health coaching, and I am now certified as a health coach for the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York. And I started seeing clients and apply what I have learned with these clients. And I started to see changes in my clients. And I said to myself, wow, this really works. And this is what I do right now. And this is amazing for me. This is completely amazing for me. And I know that every process is completely different. I talk with my clients, with the people I work with, about diet, about supplementation, about emotions, about relationships with themselves and with others, about job, about their career, they exercise, the spirituality, and making changes in all these aspects of their lives. Maybe if you change something, for example, in a relationship, or something about an emotion, something that is not completely related with the health issue that they have, they start seeing completely huge changes in their life, in their well-being. And this is amazing for me, and they start seeing the results. As well, I would like to say that there are a common personality in people with diagnosis, autoimmune diagnosis. People with this kind of diagnosis, they have like a very rigid, we have this rigid personality. They are really hardworking. They are not listening to their emotions, to what they want, to their inner feelings. And this start creating like a hardness in their selves, and they are not able to express their emotions. And I really think that all the symptoms that we have are really like messages that the body is giving to us. If you have one message, maybe you don't listen to the message. Maybe you have more messages, you don't listen to them. But these symptoms start to accumulate in yourself, and one day one diagnosis appears in your life. And if you are not listening to the symptoms, and if you are not making changes in your life, the symptoms can become an illnesses, and maybe it's more difficult to change the situation. So it's better to start as soon as you can start. But if it's later in the process, if you have the diagnosis, still you have plenty of things, a lot of things to do to change in your life. I think never it's too late to start changing things. I have seen amazing things, amazing recovering processes in people, like people in with using wheelchairs, or people with walking with sticks, that start to improve their mobility, they start to feel better. Or and this is amazing. As soon as you can start making changes, the better for yourself. But there is always something that you can change, that you can improve in your life. All the people I work with, all the people see changes in their life. There are people who recover more themselves, and there are people who recover less. And I don't have a magic ball to see if you are able to recover completely. But the truth is that everybody improve their health. a lot, a lot, amazingly. And this is what I do. This is what there are several things that are really important for me. For example, the coherence. The word is like that in English, coherencia. You say that? Coherence, yeah, because it's compulsory, it's mandatory that you have a coherence between what you think, and what you do. If you feel something, if you think something, but you do things in a completely different way, things are not working okay, and maybe you're gonna start seeing symptoms, things that don't work well in your life. And um, there are 22 different kinds of emotions in one person. But if you can, to say it more in a simple way, there are two emotions: you feel good or you feel bad. And what I do with my health coaching is start seeing what for you works, and you start feeling better doing different things, certain things, and what you see that doesn't work for you, and you start feeling bad doing these things. So it's really simple finally, because you need to choose the things that make you feel better, not the things that make you feel bad. So it's that simple, because it's not easy at all. It's a process. It's a working process. You have to work a lot in that, in your diet, into supplementation, in your emotions, in your relationship with yourself and with others, in your job, in your career, in the exercise that you do, in the spirituality that you have. There are a lot of things that you can do, but at the end it's really simple, because it's a matter of connecting with your true essence. For me, the essence thing is really important. When you are a kid, I talk about that with people who have kids, because when you have a kid, or you have a kid in your family, since they are really, really small, maybe months of age or something like this, you can see what they do, their personality, and this is their essence. They don't have to learn anything. They have that inside of themselves. Kids know what they like to do when they are kids, but as we grow up, when we are adults, it sometimes is really difficult for us to know what we like, what we want to work in, what we a lot of times people cannot say what they want in life, or what they like. And this is crazy, because when you was a kid, you knew what you like. So this is the most important thing, to reconnect with your essence, with your true essence, what you like, what you want to do, what you liked when you were a kid. Sorry. Yeah, what you're
See
passionate
what
about.
we're
And
passionate about. We need to be connected with that thing that makes us
absolutely.
sparkle.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this society that we live, that we are every time all day working and doing what we have to do, the businesses, the job, the boss, we have to we have deadlines every time, and we have a lot of job pressure in our lives normally, and sometimes this is not really connected with who you are. And maybe you have to quit your job, or maybe not, I don't know, because I cannot tell anybody what they have to do. I just can be with you in the process, in the way to listen to yourself, and to see what is good for you, what you decide, and what you see is good for you, and go for it, because we just have one life. We don't have we At least we know we just have one life, and we have to fully live our own life, because we just have this. And if we don't do it, diseases start going. Above all, autoimmune diseases, because autoimmunity, it has no common sense in autoimmunity, because in autoimmunity what happens is that the body attacks to yourself, and this has no sense, because the normal thing for the body to do is to take care about yourself. And if the body is attacking yourself, it's because something is not working right. Why do you have to attack yourself? Because nature what want to do is to take care of yourself. So if you are talking to yourself, you need to stop. You need to listen to yourself. Sometimes when I work with the people who I work with, I recommend them to meditate every day, because meditation is a great tool that we have. We have two brains, the left brain and the right brain, and normally in this society we are using the left part of the brain all the time, and the left part of the brain is the rationality, the Excel, like the computer part that we need to, our deadlines, all the job that we have to do. This is what we have more like worked, this part. And the other part, the right part, is the part that is more subtle, that it's about the intuition, that it's about the inner feelings, that it's about what you feel, what you love, the intuitions that you have. And normally this part, the brain part of the right part of the brain is like slept. So we need to, using meditation, I recommend just doing, for example, twice per day, in the morning, in the afternoon, like 15 minutes each time. What the benefit that we have with the meditation is that we have the two brains working more or less at the same level, so it's more coherent with ourselves, and you start working better, you start listening to your emotions, to your intuitions, and suddenly the solutions to your problems flourishes. They flourish in your life, and you, using your intuitions, you know what you have to do, and you know what it's right for you. And this is amazing for me, and I see it every day. I have to say, and I have the pleasure to say, that I see miracles every day in my life with the people who I work with. It's amazing, using the seeing and embracing the essence of the people. I cannot tell you what to do, but I can see what you love. I can see what you are good at. And I have to say, something I'm really good, like falling in love with the people I work with. I think I'm very good at listening to people, at listening what you are not telling with words. There are a lot of times that people are talking and talking and talking and using the brain and being super rational and explain, I think my problem is this, my problem is that, but you are talking and not saying the most important things in your life. And I think I'm really good at seeing the things that you don't say and exploring these areas that you are not talking about. And if maybe something is difficult for you to talk about, and when we start like asking difficult questions and seeing things that on a daily basis you don't want to see about your life, about your personality, about your situations, and you start like facing these situations, these big problems for you that you usually don't face, and start taking steps, maybe small steps and maybe big steps. Sometimes the steps that you have to do is just changing the diet, or I don't know, or having a difficult situation with someone, or maybe what you have to do is to say goodbye to your partner of years, or maybe to let go your job for years as well. So there are different things, and I cannot tell anybody exactly what they have to do, but because every situation is different, I don't have like a manual. Like if I work with you and we are working with, for example, multiple sclerosis, the first thing that you have to do is this, then you have to do that, and then you have to do this, and then the problem is solved. I don't have this magic ball, the crystal ball, to see the future and to tell you what you have to do strictly, like a rigid solution for you. I don't have that. What I have is to listen to yourself and start peeling the layers of like an onion with a lot of layers, like you peeling the onion, and then the true yourself appears. And this for me is amazing. This is really, really good for me. And this is what I do with the people I work with. I have other things that I would like to say. Yeah. Mhm. I love talking about, for me, quantum physics is really important. I don't know if you know about quantum physics, but the quantum physics explore the world of the very small things, the big things in life, the big objects in life act in a manner, in a way, okay, but the very very small things act in a completely different way, in a very subtle way. It's again the word subtle appears for me because it's really important. The subtle things are really important. Something what appears to be like this is not like this, or is not working like this for you. So it's seeing things in a completely different ways. And there are other things like simple things like, for example, talking about diet. There are a lot of people with autoimmune diseases that have a lot of fungus in their body, about, for example, candida. I don't know if you know about candida. Have you listened about candida? Fist.
Yes, in English
Fist.
it's known as, at least in the States, as yeast infection. Y
Yes,
E
just if
A
it's
S T.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Here we say candida, and well, everybody has that in their bodies because they're part of the human body, but we have a overgrowth of it in our bodies when we, because a lot of reasons, because we have pills that we have taken, antibiotics that we have taken in our lives, a lot of sugar that we eat, a lot of carbohydrates that we eat in our life, and we have an overgrowth of it. And there are different things, easy things that you can do about that: changing your life, using a supplementation, and fasting, which is really helpful. And having different small, because they are small steps in your life, changing this, the improvement that you can have in your life is amazing. So what I do is really a mixture of different things, a mixture of things like small or concrete, like diet, like supplementation, but other things more subtle, like listening to yourself. And for me, this is the most important things that we have to do, because when you go to a doctor, maybe the doctor can give you the pills, can give you the right diet. This is okay and it's perfect. I'm not against medicine. It's completely necessary in our society, medicine. But sometimes the doctors don't have the time, or they don't have the expertise to go further into problems that the patient has, or they don't have the time to see their lives, and to making changes, and to making yeah, big changes in their life, that in their lives, that they have to do. And this is what I think is the most important thing to do. And I think now in these days, health coaching and life coaching is really important and essential, because everybody needs another person from the outside. Because health coaches, we have another health coach working with us, because I'm really good at looking at other people's problems, but I need as well people who are looking at my problems and pushing me to do changes in my life. We are not perfect, we are not superhumans, we are people in a work in progress, which is life. So it's really good to have somebody with you in the way, and pushing you and taking care of you and falling in love with you. Because everybody, a lot of people I work with and I talk to, they don't see good things in themselves. And I think this is like a sin, almost a sin, because you need to 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 look at you and love you. There is a mirror exercise, which is really difficult for a lot of people to do, like looking at yourself to your eyes in the mirror and saying, I love you, I really love you. And a lot of people cannot do that, because they start crying and they say, oh, I cannot say that to myself because I'm horrible, I'm awful. And this is wow. If that happens to you, is the first thing that you need to work with, because the first thing that we need to do is to love to ourselves. And there is an author who died a few years ago, Louise Hay. You know Louise Hay. She started all of this, and she always say that the main reason for a lot of illnesses is the lack of love for yourself, and the fear, a lot of fear about situations in your life, about you, what you can do, what you are able to do. So if you start peeling the layers of the onion, what you see on the inside is fear, a lot of fear, and we need to work in that.
So it's super interesting that you talk about how we don't listen to ourselves, how we are very we actually, it's like we tried on purpose not to listen to what's going on within, our own realm, our feelings. Why is it so hard for us to, honestly and openly and frankly, and like with all the intention, go and have and establish a discipline for self-observation? I think that our dialogue tends to be very hostile. You tell me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
it's like that. Absolutely. People, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we what we say to ourselves is, "Oh, you are awful. You are ugly. Your hair is horrible." Okay, things like that. But we don't look at ourselves in the mirror, and we don't say to ourselves, "Oh, I love you. I really love you. I appreciate your life. I appreciate what you have done in your life, what you have overcome in your life." We don't say that. We say things to ourselves that we don't say to our worst enemies. It's crazy. We treat ourselves completely horrible. So is that what we need to do? What we need to start to do? It's not easy, but it's not. This is not quantum physics. It's not that difficult. So we need to. It's a practice. We need to start doing that. So the first day, 1 minute or 2 minutes, and it's a practice. And it feels better and better and better when you do it 1 year, 1 day, another day, 1 week, another week. You feel better. And if you do it in the very first hour of the day, your day changes completely. The first hour of the day is the most important hour of the day, because you can change your day for the good or for the bad. If you start saying to yourself, "You are great, you are amazing, you have plenty of things to do today to improve your life, to feel better, to be better," your day is different than if you say to yourself, "You are ugly, look at your face, you are horrible." No, you cannot do that.
I think like the theory is very easy, but the practice and the discipline of actually staying and sticking to the daily practice is what can be. It's like the world invites us to focus on the outside, and going against that tendency and actually practicing the self observation can take a little bit to get used to. Now, you have told us about how someone with an autoimmune disease can navigate their life, can get better, can start some practices that will definitely be, or to accompany the traditional medicine, which is great. Now, there is something that I think that we normally fail and needs to educate the people around those that are going through some sort of inconvenient or a health challenge in their life. Like, if I was the partner or the sister or the mom or the daughter of someone that is struggling, that is challenged with, what should I know to be the best possible for them?
Wow, it's difficult what you say, because, for example, in my personal situation, my personal recovery process, the people in my family said to myself, "Oh, what you are starting exploring, this is crazy. These are no senses." And I needed to be really, really strong because I had that intuition inside of myself that I needed to start learning new things and practicing new things. So for me, the people that is surrounding you, they should be more loving, more caring, more listening to yourself. Like if you are trying something new, okay, embrace him or her to do it. Just don't judge, because a lot of people is judging all the time. We are all the time judging. Our society is judging all day. So stop judging. They are feeling bad, they are going through a difficult process. Don't judge them, just embrace them and give them love. That's it.
What should we know? Because I guess that as companions we may judge and we may be very rough when it comes to being a good company, but it's because we actually ignore as much as we kind of know. We ignore and we don't embody whatever they may be going through. So is there something that you maybe wanted to share with your family or friends, like, hey, this is what I feel and I need you to hear me?
hmm Yeah, people suffering from autoimmune diseases. I don't like to name them diseases, because sometimes when you think about disease, it's like there is nothing that you can do about that, and you cannot change it or you cannot move it. Something that you have and you will have for the rest of your life. And I don't believe in that. I think we are changing all the times, and maybe you have a disease now and maybe in the future you hopefully you won't have it. Well, people, families or friends of people with an autoimmune disease, they need to know that they are feeling horrible, awful things that maybe you cannot see from the outside. We can feel like super exhausted all the time. We can feel numbness in our body. We feel anxious, or we feel depressed, or we feel depleted. So it's horrible, really tough, really, really tough. But from the outside, people cannot see that. So be be caring, be loving, and don't judge. There are a lot of things going inside of us, of these people suffering from this condition. So maybe learn new things and start learning things from outside of the paradigm. How do you say paradigm? Paradigm of the common, of the usual medicine, which is great. I don't deny the medicine, I don't deny the treatments, the pills, but there are a lot more things that you can do about that. So start, maybe read a book, watch a video. That we have plenty of information on the YouTube. Start looking for another cases of people who have recovered from these situations, and maybe you can open your mind. Because when you do, in my case, when you go to a doctor and they said to you that you have multiple sclerosis, the future that you see is black, completely black. What you see in the future is a wheelchair. It's like disability, is that you are not able to walk anymore. And if people tell you that this is your future, this is what is for you in the future, it's horrible. It's completely horrible, devastating. So start looking for another cases, for another people who have lived a different situations. There are a lot of people who recover from these situations. Let's put the focus on this hope, on the people, what they did, what these people did to improve their experience, their life. It's I think it's necessary. It's obligatory. It's compulsory to look for new information or for new stories of hope.
Educate ourselves. Now, from your perspective, every person that is challenged or that is faced with this type of situations, I guess each one of us have our own story, right? Each one of us, there's like the bio individuality. and it's going to probably be a mix of your particular immune situation and the context and the type of job that you do and the type of family that you have. But is there something in common? Like, what would you say is the biggest challenge that they are facing when it comes to continue with their lives, with your lives?
Mhm. The most common challenge that I see is that to start looking at your life for what you want for your life and not listening to everybody else. Because people with autoimmune diseases are, we listen to everybody in the first place and not to ourselves. You know, when you go to the, when you're in a plane, there is a message in the plane saying that if the oxygen masks fall, you need to put first your oxygen mask and then put the oxygen mask to the other. Because if you put the oxygen mask to a kid around it's worse. You first of all need to take care of yourself and then to take care of others. And this message is really important to me, and it's really useful because you first of all need to listen to yourself, not the society, not your boss, not your parents, not your family. So this is the it's a challenge. It's a challenge very important for people with multiple sclerosis, because we are all the time taking care of others and putting others first. And this is really difficult for a lot of people to make steps, to take steps in that situation. If you need to say, there is a, you need to start learning saying no to things, you know, saying no to a lot of things. Because people with autoimmune disease say yes to everything, to everybody, and you start saying no because you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you don't want to be with this person. So you need to start saying no and saying yes to what you want to do, what you like to do.
Boundaries and limits, Jose. Learning
Boundaries
how
and
to
limits.
say, okay, this is my line and you're not gonna cross it.
Hmm. Yeah, this is my line, and it's really difficult with family. For example, people with autoimmune diseases have a great challenge with the family, because they feel that they need to do things for their family, or what the family think that they have to do this thing or the other thing. So stop with that. Stop with that. You don't have to follow your family. You are a member of your family, and you have to love your family, but say goodbye to your family a lot of times. You have to listen to yourself and live your own life. The life of your family is not your life. And this is really tough sometimes, because you need to do steps. The theory is amazing, it's good, we all know the theory, but you need to do the steps, small steps and big steps about that. Maybe you have to say goodbye to your, let go a little bit to your father, for example, to your mother, or move to
That
a
is.
different place. It's difficult sometimes, it's tough, but if you are scared about doing that, you have to do it. Even though you are scared, you have to do it. And after doing, it will be easier for you. But first of all, you have to do it.
See, that's why it's so important, I guess, that us as companions we educate ourselves, and if we educate ourselves in the emotional part of what may be causing this, we can learn how to respect other people's boundaries and don't demand that much. Because it is very hard sometimes to see when someone is constantly saying yes, it can be hard for the other part not to ask for things or actually evaluating in the determination of, hey, maybe she or he is not okay with what I'm proposing. Because we're so self-centered, Jose, we are so self-centered. So wow, it's really nice that I got to hear you, because I think I'm going to start practicing, even if the other person is not saying no,
Mhm.
um pondering and thinking, is this person in front of me saying yes because they don't want to say no, or is this something that they really want to do? How hard it is to have healthy emotional relationships, right?
It is hard, but it's not that hard. Again, it's not quantum physics, you know. small steps in your life, small changes in your life. But first of all, it's listening to yourself. And people who say yes all the time, yeah, I do this for you, I do this other thing for you. These people from the outside, when you see that person, they don't value, they don't love, you feel that they don't love themselves as much. But when you see people saying no to things and choosing what they want to do, say to this, yes, yes to this, or no to that, choosing what they want to do, wow, you see that person, and you say, wow, he or she is amazing. He has or she has a huge personality, and you fell in love with that because you can feel you can smell the confidence. And
That's
this is what
beautiful.
I think what we need to do.
Oh, that is so beautiful. As we reach the end of this conversation, what would you like to leave us with? If there's something that you have learned throughout this time, what would you like to, like, how would you share that with us?
Yeah, one thing, if there is something in your life like repeating over and over during years, for example, I meant, I would like to go to visit Panama, and I have this feeling in my mind, 1 year, another year, another year, another year, and I still have this feeling, is because of something. You need to listen to yourself and do what you have in your mind for a lot of time. I think this is really important because imagine you have like 90 years and you're about to die and you have not done what you wanted to do. This is a sin. This is a sin. This is horrible. You cannot do that. You need to live your own life and do what you really want to do. If you don't do it, maybe an illnesses appear. And symptoms and illnesses are saying things to us. So we need to listen.
Thank you so much for sharing with us during this time. It's been a great pleasure. Um, to the people that have been with us, we also want to say thank you and remind you that we are Mindalia.com, that we are an international nonprofit organization, and the things that you can do to help us are very simple. Liking, subscribing, leaving us a nice comment. You can also share our content with anybody that you think that may benefit of this information. You can go to our website, it's www.mindalia.com. There's tons of information there. Again, Jose, thank you for accepting this challenge of sharing information in English.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me. It has been a little bit tough, a little bit difficult for me, but it's a great first experience, and I want to do it again, again, and again.
And you will do it again because we want you to. You're gonna be with us again. It is my pleasure. Again, we're sending you a very big hug and thank you on behalf of all the Mindalia TV team. We're gonna see each other very soon in the next Mindalia live streaming. Bye bye.